Have you ever caught yourself sitting in stillness, imagining a different life than the one you are currently experiencing? Ever since I was young, I've caught myself daydreaming. Oftentimes, imagining a different reality and picturing what I would want my life to really be like. In fact, I've always been a dreamer. I would be lying if I told you that I don't sit in stillness to this day and visualize what kind of life I want to continue attracting and manifesting.
Hola, hola, buenos días. Aquí reportándome desde mi balcón. Miren, les muestro. Mi balconcito, allá está mi recámara. Aquí estoy haciendo un yoga, estirándome. Miren qué cara de cansada tengo, pero es que nos desvelamos. Haciendo nada, esperando nuestra comida que nunca llegó. Y cuando por fin llegó, sabía muy fea la pizza. Pero les cuento que hoy nos vamos a ir, creo que de excursión de museo.
So in this video, I will be sharing with you some clips from my first backpacking trip in Mexico. As you can tell by the mask, this was still around COVID time. I believe this was towards the end of 2021. At this time in life, I made the decision to leave my corporate job, and without a plan really, I decided to go on my first backpacking trip ever. To my surprise, one of my best friends also decided to join in, and this was also her first backpacking trip. This beautiful sight behind me, as you can see, is El Cañón del Sumidero. It is a gorgeous canyon that has beautiful greenery all around. Check out this view. Also, it has a river running through it, which you can actually take a boat trip through this river, and you get to see so much wildlife like river crocodiles, spider monkeys, and just so much more. The content I was able to record was done with my iPhone, and to be honest, I don't even remember what iPhone I had at that time, but that is why I feel like these videos do no justice to the true beauty that this place really has to offer. And that is why, if you have not had the wonderful opportunity to visit Chiapas, Mexico just yet, I highly, highly recommend this to be your next destination to visit, and you will not be disappointed, I promise you. And so the adventure began. By this point, we had already been traveling a little bit over 2 weeks through Mexico. We started in Mexico City, we were there for 10 days, and then we made our way to Chiapas. We took a bus from Tuxtla Gutierrez, which is the capital of Chiapas, to San Cristobal de las Casas. From San Cristobal is where we were able to actually book any of these adventures. We were able to book a few through some travel agencies, and then the other adventures we just kind of took on our own. In fact, something I've learned is that when you travel solo or even in a group, you are never really traveling alone. You always meet other travelers that are either traveling alone or with friends, and you get to join in on some of their adventures, or they get to join in on some of yours. In fact, this excursion right here, we were not so sure of what the plan was, and we ended up getting lucky meeting 2 guys that were traveling from France, and they already had rented a car and invited us to join them on this adventure. So it really worked out for the best. They also invited us to join them for the rest of the day, and check this out. We got to visit this national park. It's called Lagunas de Montebello, or Montebello Lakes. This national park consists of about 60 beautiful lakes all around. It is located in Chiapas, Mexico, also near the border of Guatemala. Here you see us riding in a tuk-tuk for the first time. And then this next scene is probably one of my favorites because I remember very vividly this moment. I honestly could not believe where I was at. It all just felt like a dream. In fact, it was a dream come true.
Bueno, este video quizás sea un poco gracioso y más para los que ya me conocen. No me gusta hablar enfrente de la cámara, pero necesito crear este video para todos, para que, no sé, para que vean que todo es posible en la vida.
I was 3 years old when my parents decided to immigrate to the United States with my younger sister and I. For over 20 years, my family and I had to live in hiding in a way. We were living in the United States illegally. And to be quite honest, none of us really knew how long it would be until we were able to go back to Mexico.
Algo que sí me encanta es vivir, compartir y pues inspirar a la gente, más que nada a mis seres queridos, que vayan a vivir, a cumplir esos sueños que tienen, esos sueños que parecen imposibles, literalmente. Para mí esto, aquí estoy, todo es posible si te mantienes enfocada en lo que quieres y no permites que hayan distracciones, que haya gente negativa, cosas negativas diciéndote que no se puede, porque sí se puede. Esto es un paraíso.
The 10-year-old Liz that had dreamed of this day was out here living her best life. So of course we said yes when some locals informed us that we were just a few miles away from the border of Guatemala. He said we could easily cross over, check it out, walk around a little bit, shop around, and then just cross right over to Mexico. Even though I don't consider this as my full Guatemalan experience, I still want to say I got a little taste of what Guatemala and its beautiful people have to offer. The country of Guatemala is so abundant and magical in many, many ways. I definitely cannot wait until I get to thoroughly explore this beautiful place. And that concludes our short but sweet visit to Guatemala. So after that nice little escape, we were back in Chiapas and back to more adventures. My favorite part was definitely getting to that last waterfall where we were finally able to see the clear blue waters that we were not able to see on the first waterfall due to rain the previous days. About an hour away, we then get to Palenque, which, as you can see, is an archaeological site surrounded by a beautiful green jungle. It once used to be a ceremonial center, but now you get to just walk around and explore these beautiful Mayan ruins. By this point, we had been traveling for almost 1 month and we had made so many memories and so many friends already. This next place really blew me away. Check it out. It is called Usumacinta River, Rio Usumacinta. This river runs in between Mexico and Guatemala. So we have Mexico on our left side and Guatemala on our right. And as you can see, it is surrounded by beautiful green jungle.
La pirámide no sé.
So part of the big reason of why I chose Mexico as my first backpacking experience is because I was born in Mexico and simply wanted to connect further with my roots. I had been away for so many years, basically my entire life, and I felt so disconnected from my roots, my country, my people, just everything. And that is why I chose to visit many archaeological sites during this trip, because what better way to connect with my ancestors than visiting their homes, what used to be their homes thousands of years ago. So these sounds that you're hearing in the background are actually howler monkeys. And I'm not gonna lie to you, at first I was so scared. I just didn't know what it was. I thought it could have been a jaguar or a mountain lion, to be honest.
No sé si es un puma, un jaguar. Estamos en la jungla.
And so I hope that you've all enjoyed part 1 of this mini series, Backpacking Through Mexico.